This lesson is about playing triad chord shapes in the style of one of my favorite guitar players, Eric Johnson. If you look below the video, you're going to find a printable PDF that's going to have all of the stuff that you see on the screen in this lesson. This lesson is going to be mostly about getting these shapes under your fingers and talking about what they are. We're going to do at least one or two more where we talk about how to apply these to rhythm and lead guitar situations. Some of the stuff that you heard in the solo at the beginning of this particular lesson. In addition to these lessons, we do live streams Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings. If you subscribe to our channel, you'll get notifications when those are, in addition to other lessons, backing tracks, and the occasional gear demo. What we are dealing with is this idea that you can play triads anywhere on the guitar. And if you remember, a triad is a three-note chord, typically the root, third, and fifth notes of any scale. There's a bunch of ways to construct these things. This is the way we're looking at it in this lesson series, though. We can play where the notes are close together, root, 3, 5, and all of the ways that we've done them in previous lessons. But in this lesson, and the way that I kind of figured out from stealing ideas from Eric Johnson, was that if you skip a string between some of the notes, you actually get these really cool open voicings. Because what happens is, without the notes being so close to each other, you get this open, cleaner sound. I think part of it is just because you don't have so many of the harmonic overtones that you hear meshing together, not being so. There's like a traffic jam of that stuff usually. You know, when you're playing chords that are like really thick like that. We're going to start off doing these in G on this lowest set of strings here. We start with the G on the 6th string, that's the root. The 5th is going to be on the next string. And then your 3rd is going to be on the 3rd string. And the 4th string is just going to be muted. So when you play them together, it sounds like that instead of a full bar chord like that. It's kind of a nice open sound. That's root position with this set. The first inversion, where the 3rd of the chord is the lowest note, you're going to put the 3rd here on the B, which is on the 7th fret on the 6th string. Your root is going to be on the 4th string on the 5th fret. And then we're going to play our 5th right here. So we have your root position. We have your first inversion, and then your second inversion is going to be up here. So you've got the 5th on the 6th string. Your 3rd is going to be on the 4th string. And then there's your root. The second set of these chords, we're going to be starting with the root on the 5th string. We're going to do these in C, just to make them easier to see. So the root position, you've got the root on the 3rd fret on the 5th string. 5th is going to be on the 5th fret on the 4th string. And then here is the 3rd on the 2nd string on the 5th fret. Now if you notice, this is the same order of notes that we did here. All right, so if I was to play G in that first set that we did and then come up here to this string set, it would look like that right there. So root 5, 3, root 5, 3. So there's root position on the string set. First inversion, where we have the 3rd here on the 7th fret on the 5th string. We're going to put our root here. Pinky is going to be on the 4th string on the 10th fret. And then your second finger is going to be on the 2nd string on the 8th fret with the 5th. So we have root position, first inversion. And then second inversion, I've got here written a couple ways. I like playing it this way, which is 5, and then here's 3 on the 3rd string, and then my pinky's out here grabbing the root on the 2nd string on the 13th fret. You can also do it this way, where you're basically playing every other string. And this note, that root, is going to be on the 1st string. So 5, 3 root. Either way works. It really just depends on what you're trying to do. The last string set that we have, we're going to do it in F. So it's going to be the 3rd fret on the 4th string. So we've got root 5, 3. So if this looks familiar, this is the order of the notes in the previous two. So here's the G on that string. Here's the G on this string. And then on this last set, here's G. So you can look at, like, here's the chord, the same chord, one octave higher. And that's the same octave as this one up here. And those are all Gs. Alright, so we've got root position, we're doing this in F. And we've got first inversion, so here's the 3rd on the 4th string, 7th fret. My first finger is on the 2nd string on the 6th fret. And then I've got the 5th here on the 1st string 8th fret. So that's the 3rd, root, and then 5th. So root position, 1st inversion, and then 2nd inversion, which means we've got the 5th in the bass. 5th is going to be on the 4th string on the 10th fret. The 3rd is going to be on the 2nd string 10th fret, and my pinky is out here. Now these aren't the only ways to finger these chords, but I kind of like having them like this. It makes it kind of an easy system for me to grab things. Now, this lesson is basically just showing you those and doing a little demonstration solo at the beginning. The next lesson, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about playing some lines and doing some more interesting things. And then also the idea that, say you're arranging for 2 guitars, maybe we can have one guitar playing something really simple, and the other guitar, doing something a little bit more interesting using these chord shapes. So we're going to look at them both how I think Eric Johnson uses them, and also how I like to use them in other situations. So it's a short lesson this week, but ultimately try and get these under your fingers and come to the live streams if you can. If not, next week's lesson is going to have more in the way of applications.